Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Good Vibes, Good Life, a podcast where you could talk about anything and everything. So today, this video, as you can see, it's a comfy video, In a sense, we're kind of ready for Christmas. But as you can see, I have here a guest with me. So would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I don't even know how to introduce myself. I guess I'm Sarah.
Yeah, okay, but how old are you? What's cracking?
I don't know. I'm Sarah. 21.
21?
Girl, let me size myself up a little bit.
21? Hold up.
A couple years don't hurt nobody. All right, I'm 23.
Okay, guys. Yeah, guys. So she's 21. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, so this is Sarah. She's my sister-in-law. Has been for the last, 10 years?
Going on 9.
Oh. Going on 9 years, guys.
We've both been through a lot.
Yep.
And we kind of understand each other in a way. Mm-hmm. We just wanted to share a small traumatic experience with you that affected us in a small way, but it was a drastic way.
Drastic, yeah.
Drastic, okay. In a drastic way. But something small, because there's always things that are worse. People always have their own demons, and not everybody's life is perfect, but everybody has something worse that's going on. So, that's why we feel the need to not complain about what we have going on.
I feel like this is kind of just for you guys to kind of get to know us a little bit more, on
a personal level.
Yeah, literally. And just kind of showing you guys in a way kind of how our traumas have kind of built us up as a person, but as well as kind of sharing our experiences and kind of just overcoming the things that we have gone through, So it's like, that's where we are right now in life. Just kind of we're literally going through the journey of just healing ourselves, And it's like, even though it's separately, it's still like at the end of the day, we still come together and we talk about it.
I feel like the best way to explain it is we both went through our own things and we kind of found each other at the right time and the perfect time for life. Like, we found each other when we needed each other.
Yeah.
Although it hasn't been the best, you know what I mean? We've had our ups and our downs, like, Girl, we found each other when we needed each other. Most. Communication. Like, it's important to have those uncomfortable talks, even as a friendship, even as a family member. Like, you know what I mean? No matter what, if you feel like it's worth it, you need to have those uncomfortable talks because you don't know how that other person is feeling. Yeah, and that's true. You also have to take in accountability their point of view because you can't tell yourself that you're always right when you're not. As adults, I feel like we all need to understand how to take constructive criticism. I feel like that's really important with maintaining friendships outside of high school, just being grown after 18, like shit falls off, man. People, you guys don't see eye to eye. You guys have these little problems, but you act like kids about it. It's like you can take a different approach and just listen to how they're feeling because they're valid too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just uncomfortable situations, uncomfortable topics that need to be talked about to heal and to move forward and to create a better bond. It's not a time to be fucking around no more. Like, these friendships, literally. Like, these are long-term friendships. These are people you want to have around you, and the people you want to have around you, you also want to make sure that they're on a good page and that they're doing good. You know what I mean? Check up on them mentally. Check up on them. Are you okay? Is anything going on? If you don't feel safe, please let me know that. With this society, you don't know what's going on no more. People close their doors and you think it's a happy home and you never know what's going on behind closed doors.
Literally.
So I feel like just communicating and being that one friend, it's important.
Yeah, honestly, it helps a lot too. And you could really be helping out just that one person. And literally, they could literally not expect you to or expect anyone to just hit them up. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, too, I feel like nowadays people find it weird when you send them a text like, hey, just checking up on you. Like, they find it weird. They're like, oh, this bitch likes me. Like, oh, this bitch is weird. Like,
or she better ask me for money. Like, no, we just want to see how you're doing. And that's another thing. Like, this generation, like, we just make everything so weird. We make everything so, like, uncomfortable. Like it shouldn't be stuff like that. Like, we should be able to check up on one another, even if we don't talk every day. we see a post that we're concerned about, I should be able to hit you up and be like, hey, are you good? You know what I mean? If you're not, like, I'm here to talk. I get it. Maybe we've never spoke, but if it's something that I feel is concerning and I reach out, also understand, like, maybe I'm that ear that you needed, you know, to vent to. You know, maybe God sent me here so I could listen to you and I could help you. You know what I mean? Like, you never know what the fuck is going on with people.
Like, they find it weird when you're like, oh, like,
they
you
don't
got
find
this.
it weird. They find it flirtatious, and that's what I don't like. Like, if I tell you, like, damn, I really like small stuff, like, you know what I mean, like, wow, like, that picture you took is really good because the girl in the picture looked good, right? They'd be like, oh, let me take pictures of you. Boy, I'm just saying.
The picture looked good. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, good job. That. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to take it out of context. And that's another thing that, like, with this generation, just you guys just like to sexualize a lot of things that don't need to be sexualized. And it's getting passed down through our generations. And now we have kids 12 acting like they fucking 20.
Seeing how my brother and Sarah really raise the kids and just in an environment where they're not constantly on their iPads and they're actually outside playing. Like, I feel like that's how I want to raise my kids. You know, I don't want them to be cooped up in their bedroom playing. Like, I understand playing video games here and there or, you know, being on your phone watching a movie, but being in your room 24 hours a day and just kind of literally living in a screen, I don't want that. You know what I mean? So that's why whenever I do see the girls outside, that's why I go outside with y'all, because I'm like, I just love being outside with them. You know?
Do too, but I also feel like with the kids, like, I'm really pushing that creative aspect. And I feel like I'm pushing it because like, the way I think about my kids is like, they're their own person, but they're half of me and they're half of somebody that I love. Like, and it's crazy to see these little people be their own people. But it's like, literally. I feel like you have so much of your dad that I want to push that creativity. You know what I mean? And that's why I push the kids, do these art things, you know, draw every day. Watch the videos, learn how to draw. I want you to do whatever you want to be capable of. You like drawing, you like painting, let's do it. You know what I mean? Show me what you can do. And I always let them do those opportunities. So, you know, when it's like when one of the girls got their pictures taken for, you know, the art contest, like, it was just like, wow, like, that's amazing.
Wow! Literally, it's like,
and I haven't even seen the picture yet.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't even seen
it. They
the
haven't
picture.
sent it to you? Damn, they have to.
But, like, small things like that, I just want to push their creative side because I feel like they're so capable. Like, your family, just in general, like, y'all are really talented. You're motivated. You're hustlers. You know what I mean? You're creative. Brandon's a fast learner. I don't know how.
Bruh.
Him to be able to build shit is crazy. So it's
Dude.
just like...
Let me shout out Director Legit. You know, he be what, literally, he's a freaking director. Like, he literally sits behind, well, he's not in here right now, but
he's not a director, he's everything.
Literally, he does everything. Like, bro, literally, he's the whole full package, you know? But it's like this girl, but you know, like, he always sits behind the camera, you know, and he doesn't, like, here's the thing, he does everything, and it's like, I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for it. I feel like sometimes people just don't really appreciate the work that he does for them. You know what I mean? And it's like, that kind of pisses me off. I'm not gonna hold you. The things that he has seen in the whole world and just the life that he has lived these last couple of years, it's like, it's crazy, but if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have seen the things that I have seen in my life, you know, in the creative aspect, you know, but as well as, like, in the creative aspect, as well as the visual aspect of life, and just a lot of things where I'm just like, I'm so grateful to just have him as a brother and just to have my family as my family, precisely because even though we all have our differences, we are all unique in our own ways. But at the end of the day, it's like, and it's crazy, and this is gonna sound so like, but it's like, at the end of the day, we are all willing to ride for one another. Don't fuck with my brother, because when you fucking with my brother, you fucking with all of us.
I wasn't born into your family, but I grew into your family. And you know, I'd do anything for any one of y'all. Yeah.
And I feel like with us too, bro.
Like, it's just, like, it's weird. Like, I kind of was just raised with you guys. Like,
literally, yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Like, I feel like me and you, we literally grew up together.
We did grow up together.
Yeah, we did. So
I moved in when you were, what, 12?
I think I was 12. I was in 6th grade.
14.
Yeah. You were in 7th grade, right? Or 8th grade?
I don't know if I want to talk about that.
Oh, it's up to you. You don't have to.
I stopped going to school. I got expelled. Remember? Mm-hmm. I never went to school after 8th grade.
Then, yeah, so you were in 8th grade and I was in 6th grade. If you want to talk about that, you can, but you don't have to.
No, but yeah, I want to say I was like 14 when I met you.
Yeah, I was 12 too. I fucking remember that shit.
I don't remember our first interaction. I do remember the first time I saw you, and I remember I was like, oh my god, like you look just like your brother. But that was it. But like the first time we spoke, I don't remember. But you know what I do remember? I do remember when me and you and your mom would like hang out in the kitchen and listen to music and just like chill and talk. Like I remember things like that.
And she taught you how to make tortillas and shit.
And she would teach me everything, you know what I mean? Like your mom taught me how to make rice, your mom taught me how to cook, you know what I mean? Over the years I feel like I lost it and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in the kitchen no more. But what I'm saying is like your mom raised me, like she was there, you know what I mean? And that's why it was like when I gave birth to my kids, it was really important to me that I had your mom there in the room with me.
I remember that you wanted my mom in the room. Who was it? It was you,
Brandon, and my mom.
Yeah.
And your mom.
And yeah. I remember that day. I was sitting right outside the door. Literally waiting for
you in there too, but you were just too young.
Yeah.
You were way too young. You know what I mean? Like me and you were 12? Real close. Even after like I had the baby, me and you were there. You know what I mean? Like I would have loved to have you there, but it was just you were too young.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's I feel like we've lived like such like we've lived a crazy life together. I feel like when we first met, we actually became really close. Like we became really close where we were like really comfortable with one another, and she just like, it was like in a sense she just belonged in the family.
It was weird though because it's like I've never, I don't care what you say, but I've never been a hating ass bitch towards any other female. I have never ever been a hating ass bitch.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't say that.
I can. So when I came around you, I'm like, this is my baby sister. Like I came around you and it was just kind of like,
yeah, in this time,
that's my baby. You know what I mean?
Look, guys, in this time, so much love. Like it was like, and I'm gonna tell you guys why I say like, oh, like that's never been me. I'm gonna, I guess in a way, kind of give you guys my perspective on like, you know, and obviously with time we're gonna get more into
different topics and more stories.
Yeah, and you guys are gonna kind of just put everything together and understand, you know, I guess our friendship now. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you know, I'm not gonna lie, some of our feelings may get hurt during this little podcast and shit,
but that's fine. It's stuff we need to talk about, and we're both grown enough to understand that.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
The title, hashing our beef out on cameras. Oh. Literally.
And then do the pin like this.
Be like ah.
Yeah, you go like this and I'll be like no, you get on top, put one knee on the couch, and I'll be like
yo,
I told you I was made for the camera.
Okay. She was made for the camera, literally, yo. She was pregnant with my first niece, to the firstborn, the one that popped out first. I remember you told me that I was the first person that you told that you were pregnant. Was I, or was it someone else?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Oh.
But I do remember that when I took that test, I was in the bathroom with Brandon, and I took 3 tests because I was like, okay, like one year, like, oh, that shit could be expired. Expired, bitch. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here. It's not real. I took like 3 more, right? And they were all positive. And I just started crying. Started crying. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? I was on the pill. You know, I'm expelled from school. I don't got shit to live. You know what I mean? Like, you remember me, like, I was in the streets. Like, not I wasn't a hoe, okay?
She was in the streets in a sense.
I was in the streets as in, like, I was just with all that stupid bullshit with the fighting and the robbing and the smoking and just a bunch of drugs. Like, I was doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing, period. And when I found out I was pregnant, that exact day, I stopped. I cut cold turkey off everything. And I was sober for about 4 years. Yeah, the fucking weed that I had that day, I literally gave it away. After my test came back positive, I just gave it away. And that day, some stupid bitch tried to jump me.
Really?
I swear, I remember they tried to jump me over a gram of weed, which I ended up giving away for free anyways. And they could have asked me, like,
who was it?
You're not gonna put it in the video.
No, I'm gonna cut it out. Let's get into our next topic. I guess more where the first topic that we were supposed to talk about, but we got sidetracked as fuck. So today we're gonna be talking about small traumatic story here. What we're doing is we're just shedding light on situations that I feel like not a lot of people talk about. You know, just traumatic events that people don't speak on, you know, in the sense of not everyone goes through the same shit.
But could also be related to.
But yeah, like literally it's like you could learn something from anybody's experience, you know, in the sense of the lesson, the whole situation, you know, just overall. It's a learning experience too, even if you haven't experienced anything like this, you know. But I'm gonna go ahead.
Can I use us as an example?
Real quick? Yeah, go ahead.
Jennifer grew up in a 2-family household with siblings. I grew up in a 1-family household, and I'm an only child. Mm-hmm. And I grew up with my mom. So, just in general, we see things different, but in a way I also understand. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want you to think that just because she came from a good home and she had those two parents that she didn't go through stuff too, because we all do, regardless if your parents are in the picture or if they're not in the picture. Traumatic experiences are traumatic experiences, and they do need to be talked about, because the longer you do hold them in, the more that they mess with you and the more that they're going to hold you back. And
it's crazy too, because I remember you telling me that one time so a little backstory, actually, when I had expressed when I had told her, she was actually the first person to ever know, and the first person that I ever expressed it to, you know. And it's like, I had expressed to her that a very close family friend had tried to do something to me in the sense of, you know, that touchy subject, you know. And she was actually the first person that I told, and I remember her telling me that I needed to say something about it, or else it was going to affect me in the long run, you know. And I feel like it wasn't until like last year that it actually really started affecting me. And it just, like, I don't know if you saw me, but I don't think you did. Like, I had gained so much weight, and
I wasn't around. You remember, I just recently moved in.
Yeah, so, like, at this point, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, basically, like I said, we're gonna get deeper into it, but
we went in through a really rough patch.
Yeah.
And we ended things on bad, unexpected terms. And we just didn't talk. When we needed each other, we weren't there for each other. And in a way, we were both losing ourselves. Like, I was losing myself individually, and she was losing herself individually. But we never sat there and talked about it.
Yeah, but I feel like looking at it now from a different perspective, it's kind of like, I feel like if we wouldn't have separated for that time being, I feel like we would have never found ourselves, period. You know, just because I feel like to our relationship, like, if you really think about it, our friendship was actually, like, literally deteriorating. You know what I mean? Like, in the aspect of we were both disrespecting each other.
Yeah, because we thought of each other as so much as siblings that we were calling each other out of our own names. Like, we were putting hands on each other when we didn't need to, when it wasn't necessary. Mm-hmm. Like, over stupid bullshit.
Literally. And I feel like too, it was the way that we expressed it, because we didn't know how to express, you know, because at this time, and obviously if you want to talk about it you can, but she was going through a rough time, and just seeing her, you know, do certain things and just kind of, I guess, act out in a way that I had never seen her act out. Like, my only way of expressing, you know, obviously that I cared, was just going automatically into just like screaming and disrespecting you, and kind of just in a way trying to bully you out of it. You know what I mean? which I don't know if you remember, but I remember everything, bro.
I don't remember everything, but I do remember, like, when I did crash out, and I have that memory because, I mean, it's there on the wall. You know what I mean? I walk past it every day, and I tell myself I can't let myself get to that ever again. I don't care how mad I am. I'm never, ever letting myself get back to that, and I'd never, ever want to put hands on the people that I love.
Damn, stop me for the baby cry, bitch. Stop.
No, like, it's
we always cry together, guys.
Yeah, no, we do. But, like, I don't want to put hands on the people that I love. And I don't want to ruin relationships that I know mean so much to me over some bullshit just because I'm hot-headed in the moment. You know what I mean? And that's really adulting. That's really what it is.
Literally just growing up and just...
Like, we went through shit. Yeah, we did. You know what I mean? Like, the only reason... The thing is like... When we would argue, I would never, ever want to hit you, right? But it was like you knew kind of like what to say.
I didn't know what to say, bitch. I was just saying what was on my mind.
You know that one time I walked in the house and you were like, get this bitch up out my house. And I put my drink down so quick and I was like, bitch,
oh my God, dude. I fucking forgot about that.
Do you remember that? I had just walked in the house and you were like, get this bitch the fuck out my house. And I was like, the fuck you say?
Yeah.
Because I just walked in. I didn't even say anything. There was no beef.
Bro.
I didn't say nothing.
Okay, but can I give you my perspective on that? Okay, so look. Okay, yo, you just fucking reminded me.
Bro, that shit had me heated because I'm like, I forgot about why the fuck would she say that to me?
How I felt when you had just left the house and just literally didn't say anything to anyone. I was hurt. I was really hurt. Because I feel like, too, in a sense, it's like...
Our bond was so tight that I should have said something.
And it's like, I've always, literally growing up, I've always wanted a sister. Like, even just telling my parents, like, oh, like, can you adopt, you know, a girl so I can have a sister? And it's kind of like, because me and Sarah grew up together, you know, literally it's like a sisterhood. You know what I mean? So her just, like, literally leaving and just not even, like, saying anything and just... Like I said, our friendship just being on, like, bad, terrible terms. It's like, I feel like I was so hurt to where I was just like, I'm not going to feel it and I'm just going to hide it and I'm just going to suppress it. And I feel like, too, because I did that, I feel like a lot, like, I was so mad at you. I was so angry where, like, I genuinely felt hate, you know? But it's like, it was hard, too, because I was like, but I feel bad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to lie, I felt really bad. But I wasn't going to tell that to nobody because obviously. It's like my pride was like, no, like, fuck her. You know what I mean?
It's like, I understand where you're coming from and I see where I was in the wrong. And that's where I can be like, I'm grown enough to understand, like, I was in the wrong and I shouldn't have left like that. And I shouldn't have. The thing is that when I left, it was because of an argument. Me and Brandon just, like, we just couldn't do it anymore. Like, it was just space that we both needed. And we even came back stronger. You know what I mean? And
I feel like, too, that's one thing that I've came to realize a lot where it's just like I understand why you left. Like, it's like, I don't, like, now it's like, I don't blame you. Because I would have left, too. Not even that, just, bro, living with my parents, yeah, like, we have a nice house. Like, we, you know.
But mentally, it's a lot. I just feel like they grew up so... Is native the word you want to use, where they're just so culturalized, where they don't feel like depression is a thing, anxiety isn't a thing, you know, therapy isn't something that you need to go through, you need to work that shit out on your own, you know. It's like a Hispanic culture, you know what I mean? Like, if you're Spanish, you know, these people think like, ay, solo sientes así, te va a pasar, you know what I mean? Like, mañana te va a pasar, levántate.
Yeah, like, it's like, oh, it's because porque eres huevón. Yeah, that's how we grew up too. But in a sense as well, as kind of like, you know, just from my dad, he grew up in a very vulgar household where he just didn't, I mean, till now he still doesn't know how to say things in a respectful way. And it's like, too, just growing up, just having to him constantly disrespect us and stuff. I know it was mentally just like, you know, and just him always shutting us down.
But the thing too is, like, we also have to see it, like I said, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm being more sympathetic and stuff, but every time I think of a situation, I always think of the other person's point of view. And let's think about his, you know what I mean? Like, They pushed him to work when he was 5. They made him do all these things. He lost his childhood not because he wanted to, but because he had no
choice. He had no choice. I mean? Yeah, I get
it's
that.
Like in a way, I get it and I feel it, but I also feel like now that you're grown and we have all this space and we have all this time, be a kid.
Literally,
be a kid.
Literally,
do everything
bro.
You didn't do before.
Even though my dad has like us in a sense, it's like I still want him to enjoy life. I still want to see him happy. For someone who hurts you, you awfully like do love him a lot. And I'm like, yeah, like that's my dad. You know, and that's what I was like, regardless of what he has done, like, it's like, that's my dad.
No, but I've heard that a lot myself, too, because, I mean, you know what I've been through with my dad. You guys obviously don't know, but to try when, at the end of the day, there's no reason for me to try. If it was anybody else, they would have walked away. Yeah. But I'm still here fighting myself, fighting these dumbass battles, and trying over something that I know might never be anything. I feel like until he breaks my heart and until I learn how to walk away, I'm never going to get past it. And I can't walk away. Like, I let him treat me like shit. I let him say all these things to me, and no matter what, I still come back because I care. But it's like until he messes that up for me, I'm still going to be there.
So, Sarah's going to share her first...
Wait, why do I have to go first?
Because you're the guest. God damn it. Go ahead. Guess first.
So I want to say the first traumatic experience that I had that I can remember. I want to say I was around 3 or 4 years old. Mm-hmm. I'm an only child. My mom was 22 when she had me, and my dad was 3 years older than her, so about 25. Mm-hmm. We had our own house, single family home. And I remember walking down the stairs, going to the kitchen, and my dad had my mom by her throat in the kitchen. And just me being 3, 4 years old, my first instinct was to start hitting him, let my mama go. That's the first thing I do. I just start hitting him, and I start hitting him. I start hitting him on the back. He was on the floor. He had my mom on the floor by her throat, and he was like leaned over. So his back was like this, you know what I mean? And I'm behind him, and I'm just hitting him, and I'm like, let her go, let her go. He throws his arm back like this, right? And like pushes his back, and I guess there was like some type of, I don't know what you call it. What do you call those things that you put like in the kitchens and like like what you have, like, where you put like your fine dining dishes and stuff?
Chinero?
Yeah, like a chinero, right? He kind of like threw me back, and I flew back. My whole back hit the chinero, and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get up. I couldn't help my mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the first memory that I have is him beating on us. And he did it for years. And the thing is like, after that happened, you know what I mean? Like, my mom, she left him when I was about like 5. I was 5. She left him right after all that happened. She left. She left him the house. She left him everything. She was like, I don't care anymore. I can't do this. Keep everything. She was like, keep everything. I'm leaving. This isn't good for me and my daughter. Mm-hmm. And she left. And he started dating this other girl. And she was so nice to me. She was Peruvian. She was so sweet to me. And she had a daughter. Her daughter was a couple years younger than me. And I remember one day, I'm walking to the bathroom. Like, our house was just kind of weird. So it was like you walk in, it was like the first level, and then you had like 5 steps you go up, and that was the second level, and it had like 2 rooms. No, a main room, just a regular room, and then a small room, and then the bathroom at the end of the hall, right? And then there was a closet right here, but the stairs were right here. And I'm walking to the bathroom because I had to go to the bathroom. And he had his girlfriend by the throat. He pinned this bitch up to the wall. Her feet weren't even touching the floor. Her feet were not touching the floor. And then he slammed her on the bed and slammed the door shut and locked it. And I couldn't get in the room.
Damn, he was repeating that same cycle.
He was hurting her, right? And I saw all this happen. And then this is kind of like, it's a touchy subject. If you want to put this in the pod, let me see the edit before. Mm-hmm. But this is when I found out that he was doing brujeria. I had my own room in his house. It was the room all the way at the end. I had my own bunk, like my own bed, my own twin-size bed. I had my own dresser. My mom got me everything from Pottery Barn. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was all there before, like, she left. You know, she left all my stuff there. She told me my dad locked all the doors. He didn't let her take any clothes. He didn't let her take anything. We slept in a Walmart parking lot for 2 days because we had nowhere to go. And all I remember wearing was my fucking Hawaiian bathing suit with a little tutu. Because my mom wanted me to be happy. We slept in a Walmart parking lot. All that shit happened, man. Right? So, like, our bed was there, right? Like, I had my own room. Like, every time he would have me on his visitations or whatever, because it was court-signed, he went to court. He tried to fight for me, whatever. I don't know why the hell he did that. And I'm cleaning my room one day. Right, I go to his house every other weekend. Okay, so it's not even consistent. I go to his house every other weekend, and I have a little, like, you know, a nightstand, you know, that has a regular little pull-out drawer. I'm pulling out my drawer so I can, like, put my little stuff in there. He has a picture of his girlfriend and her sister, and it's upside down, and the eyes are crossed, like scratched out, crossed, and burned. So I see this, right? I'm like 8 years old, 9 years old. My first instinct was, I can't tell him because he's going to hit me. He's going to hurt me. If I tell him that I found this, he's going to hurt me. So I came and I went up to her and I was like, hey, do you think you can help me clean my room? And she came and I was like, I have something I really need to show you. And I showed her the picture. And after I showed her the picture is when my dad grabbed her by the neck. Because I showed her the picture.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
And it was just because I was trying to help. I didn't want her to go through what my mom went through. I was just trying to be a good kid. You know what I mean? Like, trying to be a good person. Trying to save you from my dad. But this scar right here, from my dad. When I got kidnapped and all that bullshit happened to me, he hit me one time. You remember that bruise I had on my legs for, like, years?
Is it still there? Is it gone?
It's gone. But what I'm saying is, like, my legs go numb a lot. Like, my legs go numb a lot. But, like, when he hit me, he made me, like... He made me in God in front of his mom.
When he hit you?
He made me kneel in front of her while he hit me.
I'm sorry, he's a fucking weirdo.
But what I'm saying is, like, I just went through all that trauma, all that stupid abuse. So it's like, I see it, I feel it, I've been through it. I just feel like it needs to be talked about more. Because that's why, whatever happens to me, you see, I speak the fuck up about it. I'm not going to be quiet. I was molested. Somebody put their hands on me. I'm going to speak up about it. It is what it is. You can't shut up and let it eat you up inside. Because you deserve justice. Like, you deserve so much more than what people put you through. Like, I get it. We have these experiences and they're not talked about a lot. But me, if I just made a documentary about myself and I just told you everything that I've been through, it's not nothing compared to what a lot of other people been through. And I walk every day and I hold all this shit on my shoulders and I still keep going. You know what I mean? It needs to be talked about in a way where we can heal and where we can understand too, maybe, like, the people who abused us and the people who did these things to us, like, they weren't also right in the head and they were going through their own things. I'm not saying it's an excuse, right? It's not an excuse. It's not a reason to forgive. But it's also like, as adults, we're not mentally getting the help that we need. Mental health is serious. You know what I mean? It's not talked about. Everybody takes it as a joke.
I feel like because therapy is so, in a way, normalized for it being for crazy people, I feel like that's why people don't get the help that they need. Because they're scared to feel judged for actually getting help. You know, and then I feel like, too, there's some people who are scared to even talk about the things that they have been through because they don't want to relive that pain. You know what I mean? Like, I could tell you personally, like how it is like you only know people as much as what they tell you, right? But it's like a lot of people don't understand and they only see from their perspective, but there's really people out there, like she said, walking around with things that are so heavyweight on their shoulders. And it's like, and that's one thing too, bro. Like, that's why I always just try to be positive and just spread love and kindness, because it's like you never really know what people are going through.
And I understand that, but I feel like that's also where kind of like me personally, just so I can connect real quick, I try to see things from a different point of view. You know what I mean? Like, you never know what somebody's going through. You could see somebody at Walmart and think that they have all this money in the world. They sleeping in their car. You don't know what somebody's going through. You know, a small ass interaction. Just, I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Or like just giving them a compliment, bro. Yeah. Literally, yeah.
Can just mean so much. And that's kind of where, like, I feel like the trauma and how it caught up to me now that I'm adult. Like, now that I'm an adult, like, it makes me also think about other people's point of views. It doesn't even make me think about myself anymore. It makes me consider how other people feel, because it matters. Like, everybody's emotions are valid. Everybody. You know what I mean? And you can't sit here and downplay them, no matter if somebody else downplay them. You know what I mean? Like, you're valid. You're valid as a person. Your boundaries are valid. You shouldn't have to explain that to anybody. When you're going through things, you're going through things. And if you know the best way to protect yourself and you know the best way to express yourself, you do that the best way that you can. And you don't let nobody get in the way of it. You let them know, I'm sorry, but I didn't appreciate the way you were talking to me. I'm sorry, but I didn't appreciate the way that you touched me. It made me feel uncomfortable. You know, you express how you feel. Also setting boundaries. And I know it's hard with this generation because, fuck, like, there's a lot of shit going on out there. Like, the world is crazy, dude. Like, literally. It's crazy. Like, as females, pause. Let's talk about that.
As females,
I ain't going to the grocery store after 7 o'clock.
Yeah. So, a while back, okay, so, you know, we live in a small little city, you know what I mean? And there's a couple of Hispanic markets out here, you know, and those are the ones that me and my mama go to all the time.
You gotta let them know where we from.
We from the DMV.
Lorena Bobbitt. Fuck you.
Yeah, if y'all know Lorena Bobbitt, Britt, y'all know what she be on. Y'all don't know where she be at, but y'all know what she be on. This has always been a thing, but I feel like now in our society and how women are just overall being sexualized, like, even as young as, 13, 8, 9 years old?
Fuck 13, bro. They're
like, fucking, like, 5.
At, like, 3 months.
Bro,
people
literally.
On TikTok be putting some stupid ass shit, and that's on parents, okay? Yep. I'm not even gonna lie. It is on the parents, because I had a kid at 15, okay? I know how to dress my kid, and I want my kid to be a fucking kid. I don't want her to live in the fucking limelight. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, her dad's a videographer and everything, but at the end of the day, I want my kid to be a kid, and I want her to be creative in her own way. And that's where you kind of separate everything. But there's also predators out there, and especially with the whole AI bullshit that's going on. That shit
is creepy.
That's exactly. Do you see? You can look at any of my Facebook, anything. I do not have pictures of my kids.
I feel like a lot of people don't look at it like that. I feel like people just post their kids, like,
It's weird.
And I'm like, I get it, but at the same time, you really have to think about it.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Let me just get your real opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I'm a good parent?
I do. I actually do.
You think I'm doing good?
Yeah, bro, I've literally told you this shit before.
My mom says it too. Like, people tell me, but I don't feel like I'm doing good enough.
But you're doing good because, look, one thing about the girls is, like, they're really creative, even though they may not express everything, but they're pretty expressive. They're themselves.
And that's what I want. I want you to be your expressive self.
Personally, from what I've seen, they're not influenced by, you know, Ivy. Or, I almost said her name. You know, the firstborn.
Say Bean.
Huh?
Bean.
No, we're going to call her Hot Cheeto Puff Girl.
No, call her Bean.
No, she likes Hot Cheeto Puff
Bean.
Girl. Why she like Bean?
She's my Bean, man.
Girl, I'm gonna call her hot. She's my Hot Cheeto Puff girl.
I'm not gonna understand, but if you say Bean, I'm like, that's my baby. I call her Bean.
Bean? What the fuck do you call the second one?
Bonnie.
Bonnie?
If I have to do fake names, I call her Bean and Bonnie.
Bean and Bonnie. That's funny. Has her own, like, mind. Like, she's her own person.
What's weird about me? I had my kids when I was 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
My kids go outside to play at my mom's house in the apartment complex. Mm-hmm. I'm the only parent outside watching my kids. That says a lot because I don't trust nobody. I'd rather sit outside and watch my kids than just fucking leave them out there by themselves.
Because you never know.
And I'm the youngest person out there.
Yeah, because you never know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that speaks volumes, right?
Yeah.
Because that's fucking crazy.
And I feel like it's crazy, too, because I feel like our generation now, it's like we're learning more. In a sense, we're being better than what our parents were. You know what I mean? Where it's like we're doing better. You know, we're taking these traumatic experiences that we have gone through
and breaking the cycle.
We're breaking the cycle and we're actually doing something about it instead of allowing the cycle to be repeated. To answer your question, yes, I do think you're a good parent. Like
I just need to hear it because I feel like I'm not.
Well, you are. Trust me. Even though my mom would be like, oh, but it's like...
I know she do.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes I do need that because it does motivate me to do better.
I mean, yeah, in certain aspects, yeah. You know, it's nice.
It's coming from a mother figure, so it's different. You know what I mean? Like, I see it different. So I feel like she's trying to structure me into the person that she wants me to be. And I take it as constructive criticism.
Yeah,
I never take anything that your mom says ever hard. Like, every time she says anything to me, it'd be like off love, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta listen to her. Like, she's right. Like, I'm fucking up. Your dad, though, that's out the picture. I don't think I want a dad at this point. I think I'm good.
Nah, I think honestly, it's a tough love situation with dads out there for sure. Yeah. I feel, but how they say it's like a father's love is nothing compared to a mother's love. You know, because it's but different. You know what?
As a female, and you know what's crazy? We really do search for that male love, and it fucks with us so hard.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like, I agree, man.
You know how they say, like, oh, you find people who are like your dad, like you got daddy issues. You're gonna find somebody like your dad.
Yeah.
You search for that love that you always wished that you had, that you never received, because it's important, because you need it, and it gives you comfort. It's like that comfort you always wanted but you never got. Yeah,
I feel that. I feel like too, like, shit, I guess I'll speak about it. I feel like I've learned a lot from your guys' relationship as well as my parents' relationships, where it's just like I wouldn't perfect. It's never perfect. Hell no, I know there ain't no relationship perfect,
but if you're both willing to work through it, it's worth it.
Yep,
it's worth it. But
see, sometimes I feel like you can communicate it with somebody, but they're not going to understand.
They're not going to hear you.
And it's exactly. Like talking to a wall. Yeah. So personally, let's say,
I love how you looked at me when I said talking to a wall.
You know, like, I understand what you're saying because, you know, from certain guys that I have talked to in the past, I have noticed that they're very narcissistic, like my dad. And it's like...
You find those weird... But you know what it is? You find the characteristics. And my our therapist...
Yeah.
Okay, our therapist told me this. It's because you're comfortable with it. It's because it's something you grew up with, and it gives you comfort. Like, you're comfortable with the chaos. And she literally explained that to me so many times. When I don't feel like I'm in fight mode, I feel tired and I'm ready to go to sleep. Like, she told me, like, you're always ready to fight. And I'm like, I don't want to be like that. But when I'm not, it's fight or flight. And when I'm not like that, I'm tired. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just so used to being traumatized that I don't not know how to deal with chaos.
Yeah. How they say is too, like, I get that because I'm always on the defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I can't. And it's crazy, but it's like, even when I'm like around my brothers, it's like I can't put my guard down. Where it's like I constantly have to be on edge and always have to just be aware, because if any man, sorry guys, I know you guys are mad, but because if any man ever says anything to disrespect me, or I take it as disrespect, I'm gonna defend myself.
But I feel like it's also different, and we take it that way because of the things that we've been through.
Hell yeah, because I'm like, bro, literally.
Because it's like, you're a little, and let me agree with me. If I'm wrong, correct me. When you're little and these things happen to you, you feel like you can't defend yourself. But you're older now, and you're not going to let that shit fucking slide.
For sure.
And that's exactly why you speak up for yourself.
For sure.
Now. Because it's like, okay, this happened to me, but it's not going to happen to me again.
And you want to know what's crazy is that I feel like I didn't actually start defending myself until you stood up for me that one time when my dad was trying to hit me in front of his brothers.
That means a lot to me. Bro, like, you're my sister. Like, that shit's never going to slide.
Welcome to Good Vibes, Good Life. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As well as I was going to wait to announce this, but give a round of applause to my new co-host of the show. Where the claps at, y'all? Brandon, where the clap at, bruh? And we really hope that you guys were able to find some sort of answers, or just overall just learn something from this conversation that we've had today. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. And I feel like this is well needed, you know, and obviously you guys are going to be learning a lot more about us in the coming videos. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. And remember, peace, love, and kindness. Yeah.